Hey guys, Kevin, it's me, another movie for guys. Continue my 31 days of horror movie reviews. This is going to be, again, I know this is day 17, but it's also day 18. And I'm trying to get more of these reviews out so that way I can finally, catch up and actually not be so behind with these reviews. And that's why I watched two movies. And, this movie I was definitely looking forward to watching. Like I said, not every movie I review is a horror movie. Some are movies that I watched, when I was younger and I haven't seen since, and this is one of them, and that is the 1988 comedy fantasy classic Beetlejuice. And yes, again, I'm showing you this. There is nothing here, okay? I need to clarify this. There is nothing here. Okay, don't ask me. There's nothing here. But Beetlejuice. This is a movie that I actually haven't seen in a while. I mean, I remember when I first watched it, I really loved it, but I didn't remember it at all. I remembered a few scenes from it, but I really, like, if you were to ask me, like, before I watched this movie, or what happened in Beetlejuice, I could not really tell you because I haven't seen it in a very long time. But I really did want to check it out again because I heard it's a very fun movie, and I have to say, that's exactly what Beetlejuice was. It was a very fun movie, probably the most fun I have had watching a 31 Days of Horror movie. I think it's a really awesome movie, and actually has some genuinely creepy moments. I honestly really do love this movie, and it really doesn't have any problems at all, I have to say. Honestly, it really doesn't. Let's get to the plot of Beetlejuice, which is pretty simple overall. We focus on this young couple, young couple. Their names are Barbara and Adam, and basically in the very beginning of the movie, they are going on this vacation, and they end up crashing into their car ends up going like into a river, basically. To presumably their death, but then when they wake up, it's almost like nothing happened. They pretty much are ghosts now. They don't realize they're ghosts because they've had kind of like, they just don't really remember that they're ghosts, and it's almost as if nothing really happened. So they basically find out they're ghosts, and they also realize that they've been ghosts for 3 years now. It's been 3 years, and another family is trying to take their house. They obviously don't want them there because they want to keep their house. They want them to leave, and in order for them to do that, they try to scare them away. Doesn't seem to work, so after scared attempts, despite people saying, don't hire Beetlejuice, they decide to hire a professional scarer, Beetlejuice, who is going to try to scare this family and things like that. However, things become really chaotic once Beetlejuice becomes a lot harder to handle than they thought he was going to be, and that basically is a plot of Beetlejuice, and this movie really is just awesome. It really is an awesome movie, mainly because of the acting in this movie. Everyone is so great, honestly. There's not a single bad performance in this movie. I really think everyone does a tremendous job. Let's first talk about Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice. This was one of the roles that Michael Keaton, I think, was born to play. He is so good in this movie as Beetlejuice. I mean, he is the character down to a T in this movie. The character of Beetlejuice is just so great. He's creepy, he's really funny, he's really wacky. He had this down perfectly. You could tell he was having so much fun with this movie, and he was just perfect. I honestly thought he was perfect, and even maybe better than Batman. I think he's even more perfect for this than he was for Batman. He really was fantastic in this movie and really gave an amazing performance. What I love about Beetlejuice is that you think he's going to be like this fun character, but he actually ends up to be this really evil entity that tries to basically, he has, his own agenda, and he wants things to go that way, and he becomes like very sinister, but kind of in a comical way, and that's something I like that they did with Beetlejuice as a character. You think that he's going to be like a fun character, but he's actually not. He's actually a very dark character, and I really loved that they did that with his character. Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis are great in this movie. Their interactions in this movie are so great. First of all, you really do buy them as a couple. They work perfectly in this movie. But what I love the most about their characters is the fact that they don't realize they're dead. It's really funny. And then when they do realize they're dead, they kind of represent a deeper meaning of isolation in this movie. And when they find out they're dead, they're trying to call out to their neighbors, nobody's answering them. They kind of have to go through, they have to realize that they're ghosts and what that means. And I thought that was definitely very funny that we saw that. And when they hire Beetlejuice, things get really crazy. And I thought overall they were really great in the movie, I have to say. My only complaint with them really is when they do hire Beetlejuice, their characters are still great, but they aren't as great as they were in the first two halves of the movie, but I still thought they were really great overall. I definitely really loved their characters, and they were a lot of fun to watch. Winona Ryder as Lydia is also really great. She's the only character that can see Adam and Barbara, which is not spoilers. I'm sure you guys, many of you have seen this movie many times, but Lydia is a really great character. I think she did a really great job, and who was even funnier were her parents. I forgot how funny Catherine O'Hara and Jeffrey Jones were. They are phenomenal in this movie. Honestly, they are so funny in this movie. I mean, the whole movie, they want to try to think that their daughter's not crazy, and that they're not going crazy. I mean, just think about it. You go to this house, supposedly your daughter's saying there's ghosts there. You're probably not going to believe her, but then you start to feel certain things, and you start to think that maybe you're crazy. It's hilarious to watch. There's this one scene where they're just trying to make it seem like there's nothing wrong going on. They start to, like, dance. It's so funny to watch, especially Catherine O'Hara. She was so funny throughout this movie. I really love both their characters, and I think as an ensemble, this cast really worked great together, I have to say. Everyone seemed like they were having a lot of fun, and that's something that really works for this movie. If the actors are not having as much fun as they were, I don't think the movie was as good, because the movie is just such high energy and requires such just a fun amount of acting, and I think they did that perfectly for this movie, definitely, which I really loved. The directing by Tim Burton is, again, perfect. The movie from the beginning is just a lot of fun, and that's exactly what he wanted to be. He wanted to be a fun movie, and I really, really did love that. But I also think the movie, like I said, does have a lot to say about death and what that means and what that does to a person. It's really interesting the way they do that. They don't go too deep into it, but it is definitely very fun the way they did that. I also really love the imaginative directing. You can definitely tell that Tim Burton wanted this to be very distinctly different than other things, and there really aren't a lot of movies like Beetlejuice, I have to say. I don't really think there are. I mean, just the idea of it is really, it's a really dark plot, but it definitely is meant to be funny. I really like that tone. You know, Tim Burton's always been known for his kind of like dark humor, and this is definitely probably one of the movies that best represents that is Beetlejuice, and I think that's something that I also really love, is the directing to the movie. The screenplay is just so, so funny. I was laughing so much throughout this movie, but it is genuinely scary at points. There are some points where I won't tell you guys that I was a little freaked out, and that's something I thought they did really well. I mean, this is meant to be a kid's movie. It's pretty scary. For a kid's movie, I think kids would honestly probably be scared by this, because it's not very, like, it's family friendly. I mean, it's for the family, but I think it is kind of scary at points, definitely. I also found the plot very interesting. I definitely really did love the plot of what was going on with the two main characters in the movie. I definitely found that very funny, and I thought that was a lot of fun to watch. But I also really loved, I have to say, like I said, I really loved the actual family that was moving into the house. I thought they were definitely very funny. But like I said, my only real complaint with the movie is when Beetlejuice arrives, things do tend to not slow down, but I did feel like Genie Davis and Alec Baldwin didn't get as much as they had in the first two halves. But I thought, because of how great Michael Keaton was, and because how much he steals the show from everyone, that really is why I think it's not as big as a complaint as you guys may think it is. It's really not that much of a complaint at all, which is fine. It really isn't that much of a complaint. But the cinematography is just, it is amazing, honestly. The cinematography is one of the best things about this movie by far. Any Tim Burton movie, that's one of the best things, and this is great here. I mean, it just looks fantastic. They really do look dead. Beetlejuice looks dead, and he looks incredible, really. His look is so iconic, but at this point, it's so iconic. Everyone knows the look and Beetlejuice. Everyone knows what he looks like, and it's something I love seeing. He just looks fantastic. And then the effects, again, this was at a time where they really didn't have many computer effects, and what they were able to do with all the practical effects really is phenomenal. You would think they would use all of these practical effects, but they really don't have any of them, and it's really interesting to watch, and I definitely really love seeing that. What they were able to do without practical effects is nothing short of phenomenal. It is incredible what they were able to do without it, and it just looks beautiful. The movie as a whole looks beautiful. Just every shot looks amazing. I think every shot just looks fantastic, and there really isn't a single shot, for me at least, that doesn't look like something just amazing. Every shot, I think, looks amazing, and I really loved all of the shots in this movie. I have to say, they all just look fantastic, and the underworld does look creepy. It definitely does look like the world of the dead. And if there was supposed to be a world of the dead, that would probably be a very realistic interpretation for me. Definitely did a very good job with that. The score to this movie, Danny Elfman, obviously is great. I've never heard Danny Elfman give a bad score. I don't think he ever will. He is just great when it comes to scores. He is great, and the editing as well was perfect. The movie's really short, but it needed to be short. I don't really think it needs to be any longer than it was. This did inspire an anime television series I heard wasn't too good. But overall, guys, Beetlejuice is just a really fun movie. There's not really too much else I can say about it, except that it's a really fun movie, and I think it's definitely a movie that a lot of you need to check out. It very much represents Halloween very well. It's not really for kids, honestly. I think kids, will have fun with it, but it's probably gonna scare them. Honestly, it's a movie that'll probably scare me. My parents made a wise decision in not having me watch this movie till I was older. I remember there was a double feature of at this community house basically that I live near, and they showed Scooby Doo's The Mummy, and then they showed Beetlejuice, and they told me, no, you're not watching Beetlejuice. I can tell why. It's pretty scary. It's not really. It's a movie that I think was made for kids, but it also has those scary moments that will scare them. And I think that definitely is really ballsy that the movie did that, and that's another reason why I really loved it. But it is a lot of fun. The ending as well, I really loved the movie. I think the ending is really awesome. The climax as well. The movie actually gets really, really intense toward the end. I really loved how intense the movie got, honestly. I really got into the third half of the movie. I really enjoyed it, I have to say. But overall, guys, Beetlejuice is a really awesome movie. It's a movie that I think if you know, can't really find a Halloween movie to watch and you really just want a fun movie, Beetlejuice is that movie. Corpse Bride as well. This movie's great too, but Beetlejuice especially, it's just a really fun movie, and there's really not much else I can say about it, except that I am definitely going to give Beetlejuice a 4.5 out of 5 or an A. It is a fantastic movie. It is scary, it is funny, and it definitely is a great Halloween movie that I can't wait to watch again, honestly. I wish I watched this more. I can't wait to watch this movie again next year. I might even watch it again this year because I wish I watched it more. Honestly, I did. I haven't seen it in a while, and I don't understand why because it really is something great, and I think it definitely deserves a lot of watches. This is a movie that probably you're gonna watch a lot. If you haven't watched it, you're probably gonna watch it a lot because it's just one of those kind of movies, and that's why I enjoy it as much as I do. But overall, guys, this is my review of Beetlejuice. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you guys saw this movie. You have seen it. I absolutely love this movie. Honestly, I think it's a great movie. Like I said, probably the most fun I have had watching any movie thus far for 31 Days of Horror by far. But that's just my review. Hope you all enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys in my next video, which will be for tonight's episode of The Nick, which of course is going to be great, and I will see you guys for that. I am trying to do these 31 Days of Horror movie reviews as quick as I can. I'm trying to get them out. I'm trying to do more of them. And I know that's caused me to not watch the movies in 2015, but I basically have to focus on this now because I want to do 31 movies. In order for me to do that, I need to focus very much on this. So sorry if there's not enough movie reviews for 2015 coming out, but hopefully you guys are enjoying this series, which I hope you are, because I love watching movies like this. And honestly, guys, it's one of the ones I was most looking forward to. But that's my review. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in my next video, which will be for tonight's episode with Nick, and I will see you guys for that. Okay, bye.